Fellas, it's July, meaning that Pride Month has now ended and magically all of the wonderful colours and beautiful rainbows in this world have disappeared faster than your own father in your childhood. Pride Month is a month where a lot of corporations like to pretty much go onto Twitter, make a little rainbow profile picture and say, you know what guys, we actually do love the gays. Other than you know, the other 10 months or 11 months in the year, we kind of like them. Sort of. Well, we've got a rainbow profile picture, and I know, we have got a lot of history of funding certain senators and certain political figures that have funded lots of terrible campaigns against you people. But, you know, we've got a rainbow profile picture now, so just forget about all of that. Now obviously, Pride Month is a wonderful time of the year. It's that one month where so many people who feel that they cannot express themselves can finally do that. They can finally be who they truly are. And I really do recommend that you go and look at the history of Pride Month and the people that fought to get to this point of time of where we can represent ourselves and we can truly be who we are. Obviously, the world isn't at the best point yet, but you know, it's getting there, and I think Pride Month is obviously a wonderful thing. But in the modern day, as Pride Month becomes more and more popular, it seems that opportunism and corporations have basically just discovered that they can completely take advantage of this movement and of this month in a way to basically just do some easy PR, whilst also doing things like cutting out two women kissing each other so their film can be presented in a country where a government isn't really a fan of that.
Don't do that again.
But fellas, the reason I'm speaking of social movements being exploited and taken advantage of is because I've made another groundbreaking discovery that there is another rendition of this. And obviously, it's much more serious when it comes to the LGBTQ+ community, and I don't want to minimalize that, but this is in the same aspect and same sphere of corporations using progressive movements to make money and profit. And what would you do if I said, yes, there is another massive movement, another progressive movement, being used by millionaire influencers and billionaire corporations to make money? I mean, you'd probably turn to me and say, Fraser, I mean, of course they are. They are billion-dollar corporations and influencers. I mean, these two categories of things are the real pandemic. Hello, gays, friends, and people that don't like me. Today we're going to be speaking about the body positivity movement. Yeah! And also Sienna May. And a few other celebrities. So, what actually is the body positivity movement? Well, it's a social movement focused on the acceptance of all bodies, regardless of shape, size, and physical ability. It's just really meant to be there to say, hey, you know what, guys? You are beautiful. No matter what you are, no matter who you are a human being, and you are beautiful for merely existing. And the societal standards that we've created over the last hundreds or thousands of years do not define you. You are a fantastic person, a beautiful person, and that's great. Isn't that wonderful? It's a movement which is just there for goodwill and just to make you feel great. I really can't see this being a bad thing in any sort of way. In fact, I think this is a movement where finally we can all group together and just be happy and definitely not argue, right? Right? Oh, fuck. Yes. Oh, I'm scared about this one. The body positivity movement is a controversial thing somehow. Basically, there's a lot of people in this that have a lot of conflicting opinions. Some people like to say that this movement pretty much encourages people to be super skinny or super obese, and then there are some people who pretty much don't want, I guess, people of a societal standard body type in the movement, and people just really are constantly at each other's throats. And as somebody that has been obese multiple times in my life and underweight multiple times in my life, I'm here to let you know all today that you, yes, you watching this right now, are wrong and absolutely stupid. I'm here to give the conclusive opinion that I believe that belittling somebody for their body type to make other people feel accepted and happy isn't the way to go about this thing. The body positivity movement should be there to make everybody feel nice about themselves and to make everybody feel great and just accepted for being a human being. But it seems over the last few years we've kind of strayed away from that. We've kind of moved towards this toxic body positivity culture. I'd say the movement has become toxic positivity, the belief that yes, we should encourage people that their body is absolutely fine, and by doing that we belittle people of other body types in comparison to the people that we're trying to make feel happy and confident in who they are. Obviously, that's not a method that we should be following, but I see it quite a lot on social media. To me, what body positivity should be in a very short sense is making it so somebody of 143 kilos, i.e. me last year, can find clothing just as easy as somebody who is seen as a societal standard of attraction and as a societal standard of having a thin body. But actually getting to that goal without shaming said person of sense of conventional attraction, because they could also have body issues, and just because you think they're conventionally attractive doesn't mean that they do. But also with toxic positivity comes putting people actually at risk and at danger, because it may be controversial to say, but I do also firmly believe that parts of this movement have encouraged becoming super skinny and have encouraged becoming obese. And it's weirdly now controversial to say that, hey, guys, being in an extreme of anything in most cases probably isn't a good thing. As somebody that was obese, I had a very difficult time in certain aspects of my life, and the same goes for when I was super skinny. Those things aren't really, in most scenarios, good things to be. They are very bad for your health, and I don't really understand why this is a controversial belief. And it does just seem that a large amount of people in the world right now are promoting unhealthy lifestyles by conflating that with, I guess, letting people know that it's fine to be who they are no matter what their body type is, which I agree with, but at the same time, I think we shouldn't mix that in with actually actively encouraging becoming super skinny and becoming super obese. But then you'll get people on the other side of the spectrum that take that and then go ahead and use it to dehumanize skinny people and obese people, and it's just like, guys, all I'm asking for is to just respect somebody for being a human being no matter what their body type is. Somebody of 143 kilos, i.e. me last year, should be able to have easy access to clothing just like anybody else of any other body type. It shouldn't be difficult for somebody of a larger or skinnier body to get clothing and be respected as a human being without saying, oh, you're promoting obesity. It's like, guys, not everyone is doing that. Not everybody is an influencer taking advantage of things like that. So yes, this is a complex issue. This is something that cannot be solved in a day, especially when you've got people saying things like plus size models promote unhealthy lifestyles, when it's like, no guys, this is just us accepting that these people are also human beings who deserve to be accepted and respected just as much as other people are who have different body types. But this kind of brings me into my main issue with the body positivity movement, and yes, baby, that's capitalism. No, I mean, well, no, I mean, it kind of is just capitalism. It just kind of is the outright exploitation of this movement and taking something which was so nice, so good, and so wonderful, and just absolutely exploiting it outright for profit, and not even hiding that, not even attempting to actually do anything good for this movement and just use it for money. So many influencers out there have now pretended to actually care about people's bodies just in the name of making millions of dollars. You probably know somebody like this. You've probably experienced a celebrity that does this. Kim Kardashian and the rest of the Kardashians are prime examples of that, and we will get into that. But also a big famous influencer that has kind of embraced the body positivity movement and kind of made it their entire brand is, of course, Sienna.
Hey guys, I've heard the messages from many of you, and I'm deeply sorry for any offense caused. I'm young, and I'm still navigating the world and this industry, and obviously I will not always get it right the first time. I care deeply about inclusivity, and I strive to lead by example. That means listening.
Now that is irony.
Now, Sienna is obviously a world-famous influencer, somebody with multi-million follower platforms who is known for promoting body positivity. It's what their brand has completely been based on throughout the last 3 years, and Sienna at one point of time was actually worshipped for respecting the human body, no matter what shape, size, or what it looks like. Sienna was one of the people on TikTok who was pretty much just pushing this movement, until you realize that Sienna doesn't care about body positivity in any way, shape, or form. She can't even go to the basic human length of respecting somebody's physical boundaries. So in my personal opinion, if you can't do that, you definitely don't you don't do this. You don't respect this. But, you know, seemingly she has still kind of been pushing this even after her supposed cancellation. Sienna has been just everywhere, I guess branding herself as this influencer that just bloody loves bodies. That sounds really weird. But yeah. So yeah, Sienna would post TikToks like this and people would go down to the comment section and comment, yeah, queen, body positivity queen, CEO of body positivity. And yeah, that was basically it. Sienna would post unedited photos and would post her flaws. That's not my words, that's hers. And yeah, the world would pretty much sit down and worship this behavior because, to be fair, it is unlike a lot of influencers to post unedited photos. Not really going to call anyone out, but yeah, a lot of influencers and celebrities have been known for, I guess, posting false perceptions of themselves on the internet, and that pretty much just makes a lot of, in particular, young teenage girls feel bad about themselves and feel like they need to go to extremes to get certain body types. So I can understand why at one point of time Sienna was seen as this good person for what she was doing in the movement. And this kind of leads us into one of Sienna's first controversies, which was because of the body positivity movement, and I am actually going to somewhat defend Sienna here. Shock horror. But I do just want to ask, before we go into that, could you please bloody subscribe to the YouTube channel? I know it's annoying, but you know, if you subscribe and if you like the video right now, maybe I'll give you this t-shirt. Probably not, but you know, maybe if this video gets 50,000 likes, I might give the t-shirt to somebody. So please, be an absolute hero. Please join us over on the channel by subscribing, because we upload every 2 days. No, we don't, but subscribe anyway. Thank you very much. So yes, getting into it, Sienna was pretty much cancelled for posting a TikTok of where she basically described herself as bloated and made a TikTok about this, and it was kind of meant to make you feel better about yourself because, you know, when you eat a lot of food, you get a little bit bloated and you may put on a few pounds of water weight. You may feel a little bit heavier because there is things inside you which you just consumed, and Sienna was basically like, guys, it's perfectly fine. It's absolutely normal. Don't worry about it. But people got kind of mad at this. People made a lot of videos about this. People were getting the pitchforks out and they were saying, Sienna, you're conventionally this thing of the societal standard of beauty. And yeah, it's like, okay, I can kind of get what you're saying. I can understand that to an extent. But at the same time, isn't the body positivity movement to do with accepting all bodies? And I know people will say, oh yeah, but obviously it's easier for somebody who is skinnier and, you know, it fits into those societal norms. And I get that, but can we, like, not deny that people, even in the societal standards of what a body is meant to look like, also have body image issues? Like, why are we denying that and why are we pretending that doesn't exist? And you've also got to remember, Sienna's a young teenager, so this is not just applied to Sienna, because I know some people will get mad at me defending her. I'm applying this to everybody. People, especially in this young generation, are facing a lot of body issues, no matter what body type they have, no matter if you think they're conventionally in a body standard or not. They are facing body issues because of how society is with Instagram and celebrities portraying false portrayals of themselves on the internet. People seeing that and thinking, oh, I want to look like that unrealistic body type, and they go and do extreme things despite they look perfectly fine and normal. Now, if we take away all of the controversy with Sienna, I think this TikTok is absolutely fine to post. It's Sienna's profile. She is allowed to say what she has experienced with her own body, and if she personally felt a certain way at one point of time about her body when she ate food and started to bloat, I think it's great for her to go and then post, you know, guys, it's perfectly fine to be bloated. Even if she is a skinnier person, I think that's absolutely fine, and I think it is a little bit weird that a lot of people got mad at this TikTok until you kind of think, oh, no, wait, actually, this TikTok was uploaded about a month after a certain controversy.
I decided to take a month off of social media due to the negativity surrounding my platform. It was honestly one of the most difficult times in my life for many reasons. But through struggle, I found clarity within myself and with who I want to surround myself with. My purpose in this life is to create. And whether that's silly TikTok dances or showing unedited photos of myself, creating and inspiring is what fulfills me. I know that this is why God and the universe have given me this platform. I preach self-love, but That takes time and patience. Now, more than ever, I feel proud of the person that I am. Even if I can only inspire one person, I will have done what I was put on this earth to do. We're all learning and growing.
Now, if you didn't know, that was an apology video. Well, I mean, was it an apology? Was it really? I mean, it kind of... It was a video. It sure was a video, guys. It was definitely a video. A video responding to very serious allegations, responding to a video of where Sienna does some very serious things, some very, in my opinion, criminal things. And in this video, Sienna basically deflected all of those allegations by basically saying, you know what, guys? I may have done a bad thing, but at least I post unedited photos of myself and promote self-love. I mean... That's great, Sienna. You promote self-love, but you seemingly can't love and respect the fact that people have physical boundaries and you shouldn't just be inappropriately touching somebody without their consent. It's kind of weird that you couldn't accept that form of body positivity, but then you pretend to be this body positivity CEO.
I preach self-love, showing unedited photos of myself. I know that this is why God and the universe have given me this platform.
And Sienna, it's wonderful that you can post your body after a few pints and just be like, oh, I'm the CEO of body positivity. That's fantastic, and I'm happy for you. Personally, if I was to do it, I'd get called a fat bastard, and I don't agree with that, but I would. That's the reality of it. But at the same time, doing that, posting your bloated belly, shouldn't really absolve you of serious crimes. So yes, this brings us into Sienna's exploitation of the body positivity movement. Now, I know it took us a long time to get to this, but I needed to go through the movement, get through all the stuff people would get mad at about me saying certain things about certain bodies. All right, I get it. It's controversial, we're not all going to agree. And then we've got to go through Sienna's experience with it. But now we are finally at the meat and gravy, and if you're American, you probably don't even know what gravy is, but you know, the meat, gravy, and vegetables of what we're speaking about today. Sienna using this movement in a way to basically, I guess, regain an audience, to basically do a lot of PR, and to make herself seem like this amazing, fantastic human being that just wants to help the world. So yes, with the bloating controversy, I don't really care about that. My issue is the fact that Sienna, at this point of time, clearly was trying to even more push the fact that she is this body positivity queen. She posted a lot of articles on her website about body positivity, how she curated this community of hers, and how she's tried to push this movement. And then in her biggest apology video, she used it to her own advantage by kind of, I guess, pretending to be this amazing queen of positivity despite everything that she had done. And then when you look even further into it, you go and look at Sienna May's clothing lines. Sienna is somebody that has been very interested in making clothing and selling it to our audience, which is a perfectly normal thing. I myself have released merchandise in the past, you know, because I wanted to give my fans something and I wanted to make a little bit of money, you know, nothing wrong with making a little bit of money, unless you are making that money from exploiting a certain movement. And that's my kind of issue with these clothing lines with Sienna, because that's where you really start to see the fact that, in my opinion, Sienna doesn't really care about anyone other than herself. And usually, maybe I can accept that, but not when you're using a movement which is designed to make everybody feel self-love and make everybody feel accepted and okay. And I see Sienna May's clothing lines, and it pretty much does the exact opposite of that. It does the exact opposite of promoting people of different body types, because she released this merchandise this year and it only goes up to XXL, and in the photo shoots for all of the bikinis and stuff, it doesn't actually show any plus size models. Like, seriously, I don't think in this entire thing there is actually one single plus size model in the entire photo shoot. And bearing in mind, this is somebody that in their response to serious allegations, they said that, oh, but I promote self-love. I mean, it's not really, in my opinion, promoting self-love when you don't use a single plus-size model in your photo shoot for a brand which has been, I guess, bolstered around the idea of self-love and body positivity. I mean, it's not very body positive to have an entire photo shoot and only include one really specific body type. I don't really think this is promoting body positivity. And like, you can include people of that body type. I'm not one of those people that think that certain people shouldn't be a part of the movement because they are conventionally in some form of attraction or some form of box. I don't agree with that. I think we should accept everybody and be allowing everybody in these photo shoots. But the thing is there isn't everybody in these photo shoots. It's clearly not the case here. And if you're going to try and reform yourself on social media by using this movement, could you at least like do one thing that actually helps people and helps people feel accepted, rather than just being like, oh guys, I love you all. That doesn't do anything. But actually including plus size models in these things will actually help people feel accepted, and will actually just in general make people be a little bit more respectful. And I am going to go further into that, but I also wanted to show you Sienna's website of where she does a blog like every few weeks of where she pretty much speaks about what she's been up to and what she's doing. But on here there are some articles basically where she has pretty much just been bigging herself up and acting like she is this queen CEO of this movement. She even has a whole article titled "My Role in the Body Confidence Movement." And yes, once again, shock horror, this came after the Jack Wright situation. When I started making videos last year showing my belly rolls, being honest about my insecurities and embracing my body as she is, I never thought I would end up becoming a role model for young people in the body positive sphere. I started sharing those things because it felt authentic to me, not because I had plans on captivating an audience with it. I mean, I don't really think authentic is the word we should be using here, especially when that doesn't really explain using the movement in a way to deflect serious allegations whilst also releasing a clothing brand which only goes up to XXL and only uses people of pretty much the exact same body type in the photo shoots for these clothing. I really don't think anybody in this clothing line is XXL, and I may be wrong, but just from what I'm seeing here, I can't really see that, and to me it does just feel completely inauthentic, despite Sienna claiming this whole thing is authentic. What I see here is somebody clearly wanting to make their brand look better, and somebody who is clearly wanting to make a lot of money off a movement which has a lot of support. But this takes me right back to what we were speaking about briefly at the beginning of this video with Pride Month and it being exploited by corporations and by millionaire influencers. Yes, issues facing the LGBTQ+ community are far more different to issues facing body shaming and fat phobia in society, but ultimately I do just get the same vibes with these things, with people taking advantage of these social movements. It's not just with these two movements, it's pretty much with every single movement. It always does just bring me back to when a corporation is like, hello everybody, it's the 1st of June and I would like to announce that yes, we do like LBGT people. Yes, we are a big fan of the gays. We are a big fan. And as you can see, we have, I've just dropped my notes, but as you can see, we have changed our profile picture to LBGT thing for the month. It's great, we know. Please purchase our products. We're really trying our best over here, you know. I know one of our directors did contribute to an extremely homophobic politician's campaign 4 years ago, but that was 4 years ago, guys. We didn't know back then that gays were existing. Sorry, we've got the gay, come on, we've got the gay profile picture now, come on, give us a break, guys, give us a break. And people may think I'm reaching, but this is a valid equivalence. It's the exact same thing, just rebranded. A year later, I've had the absolute privilege of fielding messages from people of all kinds telling me how I helped them accept themselves. I've also appeared in El Mexico, Vogue, and Cosmopolitan, 3 absolute dream publications, for my impact in creating a more open conversation surrounding body image, self-acceptance, and mental health. I mean, Sienna, you've definitely created a conversation. I don't know if the conversation is exactly in a good light, but you've definitely created a conversation. When I'm reading this, I basically just see somebody pretty much writing a personal statement for when they're trying to get into university. You know when you write that statement and you just gotta be like, guys, I'm just fucking awesome. I am truly the absolute pinnacle of modern society. I am amazing. I am better than, in fact, I'm better than everyone. So please, let me in. But in this case, it's not about getting into university, it's about more just forgetting about things and making a lot of money. But honestly, I do think it is quite sad that somebody has kind of embraced this movement so much, but when it actually comes down to doing a thing of where you could have actually helped people feel love, you could have actually helped people feel accepted by using models of their body type, but instead you just kind of went with the exact same billion-dollar corporation mindset of getting in models that have the exact same body type. To me personally, that shows that this is somebody that, in my opinion, does not understand the movement movement. This is somebody that, in my opinion, just thinks that self-love is basically being like, oh, guys, you are amazing, you're beautiful. Words, in my opinion, are okay, but actions are far more important and far more hard-hitting. I think if there is a company out there that actually, rather than just saying they care about people, actually do things to show they care by actually getting in models of different sizes, I think that shows way more that somebody cares about body positivity than just saying they care about body positivity, you know? As I just said, it's like when these corporate brands are like,
oh, I bloody love gay people until the 31st of June, and then but you know, I kind of care about them.
But they don't actually do anything other than changing their Twitter, Abby. They just say it, but don't really do anything impactful. It's like when there's like a kiss, there's a little gay kiss in the background in a certain movie from a certain franchise, but then they cut that kiss in another country because that country's government didn't like it, and you know, they could have lost $20 of profit. You know, it doesn't really show impact, it does just show exploitation and shows a lot of virtue signaling and shows that these people just don't actually care. And now, to be honest with you, this whole thing does actually make me feel bad for Sienna fans. I feel sad for them. Mainly I'm sad for them because they're still a fan of Sienna, and it's clear that there's something not right up there. But I'm also like a bit sad for the ones that were fans of Sienna, who came to her content for body positivity and to feel accepted, only to discover, oh wait, that whole thing was complete bullshit. None of it actually meant anything and none of it was genuine. That would make me feel horrible. So I can only really just vaguely understand how some Sienna former fans may be feeling. Now, obviously, it's not just Sienna that takes advantage of the body positivity movement. As I've mentioned throughout this video, corporations like to use this movement and other movements out there as a way to make a lot of money and seem like they actually care when they don't give a fuck. They don't care whatsoever for the most part. And I think somebody like Kim Kardashian is another example of this. Somebody who's constantly promoting self-love and body positivity whilst also promoting appetite suppressors, celebrating being described as anorexic, and then creating a body positivity clothing line worth $3.2 billion. It's strange to me that you go from appetite suppressors to billions of dollars made from body positivity within like 4 years. Guys, I'm a little confused. Maybe the billions might be the motive here, and not actually caring about people's bodies. And again, it is sad to me that this movement has been completely and utterly taken advantage of by corporations, celebrities, and influencers, because I think it does actually say to a lot of people who aren't the societal standard of attraction that they actually aren't accepted as these companies like to pretend they are, and that would probably make a lot of people feel sad and depressed. I can't lie, when I was 143 kilos, I really didn't feel that society accepts me for my body type. Now, I didn't lose weight because of that. I lost weight because I wanted to feel healthier and feel like I could move around easier and just in general, just enjoy life better. That was my personal journey, you know, and I feel much better for doing it, but at the same time, it would have been nice at the time to feel somewhat of self-worth in society. And it would have been nice to easily find cool clothes that fitted my body type at the time, because that's a big unspoken factor of being that size. Of it is difficult to just dress yourself because clothing companies that promote these things really don't help out at all, because most of the time when it comes to actually getting clothing of certain high sizes, they either have them and they don't have them in stock, or they just don't have any of those sizes in general. Which again just indicates that yes, this whole thing, it's all about making money.
Hello, I like money.
Did you eat today? A $43 hoodie, a plain hoodie with text on glorifying EDs. That is what this movement is about for these celebrities. And it's absolutely no different with mental health. I remember when Corinna Kopf in like 2019 sold anxiety merchandise, and like, I mean, great, you've got a mental health issue. Me too, buddy. I also have anxiety. But I just can't but have a sour taste in my mouth when you have just slapped on a definition and just been like, right, I'm going to profit off those mentally ill 16-year-olds on the internet. It's like, it just feels wrong. And it just feels like people don't really actually care about the issue they're trying to pretend to care about. And the same goes with Sienna's "Have You Ate Today" merch. I mean, Jesus. Really? I mean, I know people say that these things are reaches, but like, God, you can't help but get a sour taste in your mouth. Especially when the merchandise is just shit. Like, it really is just fucking wank. This merchandise isn't good. It is just a screenshot or text on hoodies, just there to make money. And that, I mean, I guess all clothing is to make money, but when you're taking advantage of certain movements, it's just at least make it look good.
If the merchandise looked good, I'd actually probably not care. I know people that have released LGBTQ plus related merchandise, and I've not had a problem with it, mainly because they've also given some of the proceeds to charity, which is great, and they've also made some cool designs for their fans, and I think that's fine. But when you're making clearly such low effort shit, I really can just only see that somebody is desperately trying to make profit without actually caring at all, and without actually, at the time before being forced into it, making seemingly any donations to charity.
But Sienna has actually responded to a lot of the controversy to do with her merchandise not featuring plus size models and not featuring clothing that goes higher than XXL, and this is what she had to say. I think people have a perception of me, because I have a following online, that I have inexhaustible resources, and I want to clarify that is definitely not the case. Sienna, come on, you are literally like in so many nice, amazing places every single week. We know you have the money to hire like one model of a body type that isn't identical. I'm sorry, you just do. And I really don't think it's that hard to also just be like, hey guys, I can't pay you to do this, but I can promote you in my line and on my Instagram and on my Twitter, and just be like, you know what, if there is a plus size model out there that wants this promotion, please come along. It will be great to have you there. And I guarantee somebody would take that opportunity. 2021 I never would, so why not me? Why not somebody? Because I think this is just an excuse for the fact that you have pretended to care about this movement, and when it comes to actually doing something meaningful for people that do suffer with body image issues, you just couldn't do anything and even think about these people. There were no investors or brands behind it. It is mine. That's a huge part of the reason you see my friends and families modeling, graphics designing, shooting, etc. This labor of love was a group effort, and I will forever be so grateful to the people who are gathered around me to help me turn my dreams into a reality. Sienna, I think if you're going to reconcile your entire social media presence using the body positivity movement, you could have at least had a little bit of patience, a little bit of time to wait to get the funding, to possibly get the investors, so you can afford different models, so you can afford different and larger or even smaller clothing sizes. I think that you could have done that if you are really going to use this movement as a way to kind of put yourself back on the social media ladder. But no, you couldn't do that because you don't care about that movement. You don't. All you saw here was profit and how can you make your brand look good again.
I'll keep saying it throughout this video. It's very easy to make little tweets and a little Instagram post of you supporting something publicly, but that support is never really going to be real support unless you go to your furthest extent as somebody with such a big platform that really focuses on these things, to use that platform in a way to actually impact people's lives. And allowing somebody to be in your photo shoot, or allowing there just to be some high like fitting for these clothing brands, I think that is an actual impactful thing. So it means nothing to me when you go on your social media and say love yourself, but then you, when you have the opportunity to actually do something impactful, don't do it because, you know, it would be a little bit too difficult for you.
As somebody that has been obese multiple times in my life, as I said multiple times throughout this video, I for a long time have known that this movement, in terms of like what's going on with it right here, is complete and utter bollocks. I know for a fact that people really, whether they like to want to admit it or not, don't care for promoting self-love for people of larger or smaller body types. And I think with movements being taken advantage of like this, it just makes me feel that the whole thing is false. Just as a bisexual man, I know it's not that difficult for me in comparison to a lot of other people out there, but as somebody who is a part of the community, I see that the movement is taken advantage of, and I don't think people are as inclusive as they like to believe they are, because, you know, they slap their little Facebook badge on with the rainbow
flag and that's their work done for the day. They say, love yourself, but when it comes to actually doing something to make people love themselves, they can't be bothered. They can't be bothered to spend that extra bit of money, to have that little bit of patience, to wait a little bit longer, to get their clothing out there and make their money. These celebrities, these corporations, in my opinion, simply don't care. Now, the average person probably does. Just take into regards here, I am speaking about mainly multi-dollar million influencers. That didn't make sense. Multi-million dollar influencers and celebrities and corporations. Body positivity is absolutely essential. You can be body positive whilst at the same time promoting healthier lifestyles, promoting exercise, and promoting healthy eating. I think those three things can exist at the same time, and we need to speak about that more. Letting people know that they're just as valuable as somebody with a different body type is great, and I will refuse to have somebody tell me that it's not. I've spoken about influencers that I believe promote unhealthy body types because I genuinely do believe that a lot of these people, like Nikocado Avocado, like Amberlynn Reid, exploit diet culture and exploit heavy amounts of weight gain for views on the internet. But that is different from just merely existing as somebody with a different body type to the societal standard. Telling those people that it's fine to exist is great. It's great, and I don't even know why this should be controversial. So to come to some form of conclusion here, it is sad, not just with body positivity, but with so many movements out there that corporations and millionaires and billionaires know that they can take these good things, because whether we want to admit it or not, we do play into it, and we do see companies that we like being like, yeah, I love gay people, I love fat people, I love skinny people. And yes, I will say fat because I think fat is a perfectly normal word, and I at one point was fat. The fact that people instantly think negative connotations when they hear the word fat isn't a good thing, and it does show that we've got a lot of work to be doing. But I think that yes, it is just absolutely devastating that these corporations have just taken these movements and, if in my mind, have actually made things worse by doing this, because people will call this behavior out and it will cause people to just go in the opposite direction to body positivity, because there is so many falsehoods and there is so many lies and there is so much virtue signaling. It's very complex, it's very difficult, and I really think that we are very, very far away in society from actually being body positive, because the people who are seen as the leaders of these movements, for the most part, in my opinion, don't actually care, and they are just doing these things for money. But hey, that's the end of the video. That was very heated. I didn't expect it to get that deep and personal, but I've kind of been wanting to speak about this movement for a very, very long time. As somebody that has been multiple different body types throughout my life, it does mean a lot to me, and I completely understand that a lot of people aren't going to agree with everything I say in this video, but please, if you do have a different opinion, go to the comment section and just let me know. It would genuinely mean the world to me if you did that, and please like this video, please, because there's probably going to be some nut jobs that love Kim Kardashian to the point of where they can't criticize Kim. I watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians, or whatever it's now called on Disney+. I do get sucked into that. I find it entertaining, but at the same time, I'm not gonna stand away and not criticize them because I like some of the things that they do in a video series, you know? It's fine to criticize the people that we like, and no, I don't like Sienna May. I think Sienna is a prime example of somebody that has used this movement to their advantage and doesn't actually care about it. But yeah, please follow my social medias. inabber69 on Twitter. inabberlive is the second channel, and all the other things are in the description. Thanks for coming along, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.